Welcome, friends of all designs, to episode 4 of FMVGames. I am Paul, and joining me today is my good friend James.
Hello.
And today we have a very sneaky episode.
Yes.
A very exciting episode. Finally, we've seen the release of Mad Max. Finally!
Yay! I was out shopping the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know today, this week has been a fantastic week for banana prices. We've got I think it was about a kilo for $2.70.
Is this just standard bananas though?
Yeah,
Cavendish?
not lady fingers.
Yeah, normal
Just
bananas
regular.
get cheap all the time. That's like nothing.
No, but that's it was. Remember the time? Remember the time they were expensive?
No. Now, for long-term listeners, you'd know this, but other people need to know that Ben, our old co-host, used to eat 2 kilos of bananas a day. Why? Because they were cheap.
Yeah. It's,
That was mainly his... So your week's been good other than the bananas?
started a new job. No longer a teacher. So I got that going for me.
Okay. You're no longer improving life for the future.
No. I like to think now I'm just bringing it down from the inside for everyone. Yeah.
Okay.
No, busy week. Marked some stuff. Played some video games.
Video game... Oh, yes, you did play a second video game, didn't you?
Yeah, I played a lot of Diablo 3. Again.
I have no time. So
No.
So you played one new game, and you played one game that's been played to death.
I have time. It's just I may not be able to brain. So
guess how many video games I played this week?
How many did you play?
I played over 100 video
Really?
games.
Did you? This is for the Ludum Dare.
The Ludum Dare,
yeah.
Not to be confused with the Ludum Dare. That's when Scott Ludlam said, "I dare you to go out and vote for non-establishment this election." You know Scott Ludlam?
Yeah.
Greens senator?
Go vote for him.
Yeah, Ludlam Dare. Well, no, we can't vote for him. He's Perth.
Time to move to Perth.
Yeah. So the Ludum Dare, I played over 100 games, and
yeah.
I may be reviewing close to 50 of them
Really?
on this episode.
Yeah, because normally we have show notes where we can go catch up on common knowledge so we can talk about it in some meaningful way on the show. But this week it was a little light, just a little bit light. And I assumed it was because you've been playing the crap out of the London Dares video games.
So we'll get to that, but really the order of the day is Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yes.
That's really where I thought we'd spend a lot of our time tonight.
Yes. So the big thing I did play this week was an awful lot of Metal Gear Solid 5. And even having played quite a lot of it, I still feel like I'm only scratching the surface of that game.
Well, yeah, so how much is the game like Clash of Clans?
It's not. If that game mode is in there somewhere, I haven't seen it yet.
How much is it like Flappy Bird?
Nothing like Flappy Bird. I'm trying to think if there's anything twitchy mechanic related. So no, not like Flappy Bird.
How much is it like Mad Max?
Probably a bit. I don't know. I haven't played Mad Max, but it's open world.
How much is it like Metal Gear Solid 1?
Probably closer to Mad Max than Metal Gear Solid 1.
How much is it like the rest of the series?
It's okay. So it's kind of close to the mobile versions. So
selling it up.
Yeah, okay. No. Okay. So the last console Metal Gear was Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah.
And that was a very story-driven Metal Gear. It was broken into 4 chapters. You play through it. 1, 2, 3, 4. All those 4 chapters are fairly different. Then it went on to console, to handheld. Like we had the Vita versions. And in the Vita versions, they started doing this thing where they broke it into chunks to play on portable. They actually designed the game being portable. So there was this small little contained missions you could play. And they also brought in this kind of management stuff. So you could kind of manage your mother base while also doing the little missions. In 5, they've taken a lot of that and kind of brought it into the console version of it. So it is actually a bit of an evolution on what's been happening to Metal Gear. It feels like a sequel to Peace Walker. Because it is. It's a direct sequel to Peace Walker. And a lot of those things from Peace Walker are in here.
Peace Walker, is it just PSP?
It's PSP. It also got a 360 release.
Oh.
I think it might have been on PS3 as well. I got
the Metal Gear
I got it
fellow.
on 360. But this is a game which is it is broken in the way we want Metal Gear games to be broken. But I also feel like it pulls off a lot of what he's actually trying to achieve, like in this one.
So what's most broken about it? Tell me the best broken bits.
Okay, so there's things like mechanics which require a ridiculous amount of travel time. So they've got this big open world.
Yeah. Because my favorite thing about open worlds is how they're just like the fact that there's so much space without content.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's such a great thing when people have giant open worlds in video games. Like, what was the old motorcycle racing game, the Microsoft one, which you could ride infinitely into the distance? That made the game so much better.
Okay. All right. So in this one, there's at least so far very little I've found while running around.
Yeah.
But the travel kind of replaces the codex discussions because there's no codec in this anymore. So what it will do is say you need to go to this mission here, and you listen to cassette tapes, and that's how you get like the conversations. I have
no codec.
No codex, and I have a big problem with the conversations because they've swapped out Hader for Kiefer.
Yeah.
And Kiefer, while a fine actor, I have no problem with Kiefer. He's not a Metal Gear actor. He kind of plays it very flat to the point where I actually struggle to know which character's which.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's do a little thing. So let's just do an old-fashioned codec.
Yeah.
You're Hader.
Yeah.
And I'll be Kiefer.
All right.
Okay. So you can start.
What's the thing?
Just say, hey, Snake.
Hey, Snake.
Hi.
We found the nukes, huh?
I was in Lost Boys.
Like his delivery's fine.
Money, please.
he's not phoning it in. All right, it's no Peter Murray in Ghostbusters.
Well, actually, the only thing that I hear about that I do think sounds is that there's just not much from Kiefer.
No.
Like they only really afforded him for a couple of days of recording.
In the intro, it really shows. There's a lot of conversation that I feel like may have been recorded after. That it's like Snake's just really quiet. Because for the actual cassette tapes, there's a bit of dialogue from him.
I'd like to correct that the motorcycle game we were talking about was Motocross Madness.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you. Okay, so I want to talk about some of the things in it, though.
Okay, tell me about your things.
Right. So I'll start with the intro. The intro is fantastic. The game opens with you waking up from a coma, and it holds this thing. It's like you, with blurry vision, blinking a bit, for like the whole of The Man Who Sold the World from David Bowie.
Yeah.
So it's just that. Eventually, some nurses come in with gratuitous boob shots.
Yes.
Okay, and I take note of that because this is part of the intro. I'm like, there's gratuitous boob shots.
Yeah.
And then something magical happens, which I'm actually not going to spoil because it was like
it's not the whale.
No, something pre-whale. It's an epic troll from Hideo, which he totally got me with. Okay. So I'm not going to spoil it, but it's great.
Is it that suddenly you get control of Raiden?
No, it would be good.
It would be good.
But yeah, so eventually the hospital you're in is under attack and you have to escape from it. And that's when things start getting weird. You're following some guy called Ishmael.
Yeah.
Which is probably the more subtle Moby Dick reference, because later there's flaming sky whales and things like that.
But you can't. The opening line of Moby Dick is "Call me Ishmael."
No,
so it's not.
When I'm saying subtle, I'm being facetious.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's like you can't get less subtle.
Yeah,
than
Hideo
that.
is not a subtle person.
No, he doesn't like subtlety.
So
he just likes a lot of extreme things at once. And you wonder what the connection between those direct things is subtle.
You start following this maybe real person, I don't know, out of this hospital, and you get lots of gratuitous butt shots.
Of Snake?
Well, if this person might be Snake, I don't know. There's cloning happening.
Is it Kojima in a costume?
It could be Kojima that's in Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
I have no idea. There's nothing in this game that's told me about the guy with the bandages yet. So you follow him, and this stuff gets appropriately weird to the point of flaming sky whales and things like that. The camera does some weird things, where the camera almost feels like a character.
Yeah.
It does a lot of giving you control of Snake and then pulling it away from you. It does a lot of you trying to move Snake, but he's been lying in bed for 9 years. He can barely move.
Yeah.
And so he can't even walk, and it's very slow. It doesn't pull its punches in terms of you're slow. It will make you. It's 15 minutes of you playing this intro with you not doing much. It's dragging you through. But yeah, intro, I think it set the tone right for what I wanted in the Metal Gear game. It's all right, Hideo's going to do what the fuck he wants.
See, here's where I'm asking. So, most of the stuff you've described there was seen in the original
Yeah.
sort of reveal trailer. I think before it was even announced as Metal
Yes,
Gear,
yeah.
where everyone was like, "Wow, that Metal Gear game sure looks like Metal Game," and Kojima's like, "It's not Metal Gear, it's called something else." Anyway, so all that stuff we saw, and it all looked great to me.
Yeah.
But then when it went to the open world stuff, it seemed really grounded then. Ooh, codex. Thank you, Mr. Producer.
All right, I want to do another conversation now.
Okay.
How's the show going, Paul?
It's a little redundant, James. We've done the same bit twice.
But now we have props.
Neither time it was very good.
It's the best now. It is the best. Metal Gear, huh?
Are you dating anybody?
One.
I've got a girl back home. She likes Tim Tams.
Huh? All right.
Tim
okay.
Tams, huh?
All right, yeah, Tim Tams, huh?
Tim Tams, huh?
All right. Okay.
Anyway, no. So all the wackiness and the
Yeah,
wildness
yeah,
of
right,
Metal Gear.
it's
That seems to. So the intro looks like a linear, really hit story driven, lots of
Yeah.
experimental stuff.
Yeah.
Like real on Kojima going Kojima. Then we hit an open world like Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And there's soldiers. And is there the wacky on the whole?
Yes. For like shit gets weird in the missions.
Okay.
So if you're doing the side ops, generally no. Like that's just the side missions, which I do some of them. In those things, it's like actually this is where one of the problems I have with the way this is laid out. A lot of the missions end up feeling quite similar.
Yeah.
It's like we need you to go extract this thing, and it is like here's a base. You have to go in, find a person. Maybe like you get a guard, interrogate them, find out what you want is, and then do it, and then escape.
Yeah.
And that's the formula for pretty much everything I've done so far. Each of those bases is different, so the way I infiltrated is different, but that feels kind of samey.
Yeah.
But when you go on the actual story missions, that's where it's like, yeah, like you will get picked up by a giant stone hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like it still gets strange. It's just kind of more isolated to those story missions.
A bit of strange on the
Yeah.
side.
The stealth in it feels really good. Like I struggled with stealth.
You're
in
traditionally
games.
terrible at stealth.
Yeah, and I'm still terrible at Metal Gear stealth. You'll see from the video, like watching me play this game, you know, in the video that I'm kind of bad at it. But I find what happens is I actually do quite well at it for about half the mission. Then I screw it up, and then I get all shooty. But
Why are you all covered in blood in the video?
I haven't showered yet. Apparently, there's a thing that happens if you don't shower. So I'm not showering. So the stealth works quite well. They've don't have the overhead kind of camera from Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2. They let you kind of tag everyone, and then you just sort of get good information where everyone is. So in the video now, this is where I've basically screwed it up, and I'm starting to shoot everyone. But yeah, the shooting feels quite good. This is probably the first Metal Gear I've played where combat feels kind of appropriate. Like it's always been a bit weird in Metal Gear games to me when they have all these like really loud guns, but the game kind of pushes you to be stealthy all the time. Or in this game, there's a lot of weapons. There's grenade launchers and
I gotta say, running up the tower in the first Metal Gear, where just suddenly, no matter how stealthy you've been playing, now it's time to just mow down a bunch of guys. It's like, that was weird.
Yeah, well, this one it feels more natural because it's like, you know, I've screwed up. They've called in the reinforcements, and now I need to deal with it. And yeah, no, it works quite well. It's ends up being quite forgiving with them. Like if you can get out of the area you're in, they'll kind of go back and they'll go from an alerted state and then kind of down to a lower state, and you can sneak around still a bit. So yeah, that works in well. Yeah, like having to come back to the guns, like the guns feel appropriate. That like I can get all shooty. And there's lots of different guns to use, so I don't feel like I'm being punished for it. Even down to when you do the mission, you can choose to come in at daytime or nighttime.
Yeah.
And effectively, if you're choosing daytime, you're choosing
like
I'm going to go and kill everyone.
It's like
strategy.
the new Ghost Recon game.
Which one?
The Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, where you're going with 4 friends and you can choose the time of day you're going to go in and pick out bases.
Yeah, a bit like that.
You don't need it at all anymore. You've got it solved with Metal Gear.
I do, yeah. So yeah, that's sort of like the missions and things.
Yeah.
And I've been enjoying them. I feel like they're getting a little samey though. The mother base stuff is good.
So what's the mother base stuff?
So you need to kidnap people to basically go to your base.
I hear you can throw a bunch of people in the back of a truck, then balloon up the truck, and you get the truck and all
I
the
haven't
people.
done that yet because my balloons aren't big enough to kind of take it. But yeah, you can go around, like basically effectively kidnap people, and if you do that, if you get seen doing it, they like will comment on it and eventually actually raise the alert. So you need to kind of be a bit stealthy about it. So that's how you populate your base, and your base is broken into a series of like jobs that you can designate to them, you know, and then that will open up options for you to kind of get new gear and things like that. The great thing about it is just you can run around the base, and if your staff see you, it improves their morale because the staff love you.
Yes, big boss, we love you.
But like they also love it when you spar with them. So what I do is I run around my base, basically knocking everyone over and like throwing them over my shoulder, or walking around with bionic fist and just like this king hitting them with the bionic man sound.
Thanks.
Yeah. And they do that. Like you've got them held, and they're like, "It's an honor to be held by you, boss." Like it's so good. And I'm just running around, just like knocking everyone over. It's great. It's so ridiculous, but that's what I love about Metal Gear.
Okay. It sounds Metal Gear.
It is, and there are definitely lots of elements of.
It doesn't sound Metal Gear. It sounds like a totally new thing.
Well, it does.
I was just using filler language there. That was really a pointless statement of me to make.
Well, it manages to be a different game, but feel like Metal Gear.
Okay.
So
how does it end?
I don't know. I'm really early in it.
Ben in the chat wants to know what this thing is.
What thing?
Apparently, you know.
What? What thing?
He says he's waiting to see this thing in real life.
I have no idea what's going on.
Huh. This thing, eh?
Oh.
No,
I don't know. So
any other thoughts about Metal Gear?
Captured a bear.
Captured a bear? Is the bear useful in Mother Base?
I don't know yet. I think if you capture enough of a certain animal, it shows up on your base.
I hope you can ride the bear into battle.
Maybe. So like there's this animal collection mini game in there where you can go around trying to find rare animals and send them back to your base. I got a bear.
Okay.
Yeah. It's yeah. It's good. I've been enjoying it.
Okay, it's good.
Yeah. I would say probably the thing that I've taken to least to it being open world is that I do kind of like with my Metal Gear games the ability to just sit down and play through it. You
were also telling me before the show that the online actually slows down the function of the game.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I've turned online off completely. I had a problem where I was trying to go in to basically manage my inventory, and it would take a really long time. And then eventually it would kind of like load, and then went back into it again and work fast. And I'm pretty sure that was it attempting to connect to the servers. So eventually what I did was just turn off the online mode. As soon as I did that, problem went away. I'm yet to see anything online adds to the game. I don't care.
Have you seen what the microtransactions are?
I had to look at them. I think it was just buying money, but I have so much money.
What's the money for? Oh, the in-game currency.
I'm pretty sure that's all it was, but I don't know. I'm getting a fair bit of it. The thing that I run at the most are the extra resources that I need to kind of make stuff happen.
Can you?
I don't think you
can you watch an ad to get some extra resources?
I probably would. Well, I wanted to be fake ads. I wanted to be
because
in Metal Gear Solid 4 there was all like the fake spots.
They should have like fake ads for Silent Hills. So when it was put in, it was actually a real ad.
Oh, that was sad. So sad.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Anywho's, so Metal Gear Solid V, it's a winner.
Yeah.
Except if you buy the physical version on PC, the game's actually only 9 meg.
What?
If you buy the physical disc on PC,
yeah.
the only thing on the CD is an installer for Steam.
Okay, so... Alright, okay. So, I have a decent internet connection.
Yeah.
You have a decent for Australia, internet connection. I understand there are some people, especially in Australia, that do not have a decent internet connection.
I bet it's at least a 20 plus gig game.
Yeah, it's a big game. So the box product can be there for those people that want to just go have it on the disc. That they can
it says for people that want to save that 9 meg. Which is just the installer. Remember, it still downloads Steam first, which is to pay about 40 meg at the moment.
That's not cool. That's really... Some poor chump is going to go buy that. Or chumps. Chump is gender neutral. It's going to go buy that and then not be able to download it. Because they've got like 5 meg a month because they live in Australia.
Good.
Good.
Serves them right.
You are history's greatest monster.
They should have not voted for that monster rabbit.
Yes.
You should take on Ludlum's Dare.
This is like
Yeah!
Maybe this is actually Hideo.
Vote for a third party.
This is a political statement from
Hideo getting on Australia.
Yeah, take that, Australia. Can't download it.
Take that. Okay. Now, enough about Scott Ludlum. Let's actually talk about Mad Max, which I also played
Alright,
this
you got that now. We love the movie.
Yes, the movie is fantastic.
On a scale of 1 to Mad Max movie, where's it at?
It is Mad Max 3.
What? Thunderdome?
Yeah!
Whoa.
So,
dude,
okay.
That's hard.
Mad Max is a lot of good things mixed with a lot of, not so much bad things, as completely unnecessary video game tropes, which could have just been stripped out of the product, making it infinitely better. The game starts with a long cutscene. You're Mad Max. Yeah, some people come up you at cars. You hit a couple of them, and then you have a fight with the game's primary antagonist.
Yes.
You put a chainsaw through his head.
What?
In the intro. In the non-interactive intro.
That sounds like a cool thing to do.
It would have been cool, wouldn't it?
If you were doing it.
Yeah, you're not doing any of it. Then you get to wake up with nothing, your car's gone, and you get to run around for a while. You get to meet a dog who's a bit injured.
Yes.
And then you get to meet your offsider for the game.
Yeah, who's that?
He's named Chum Bucket.
Okay.
Now, you're like, oh, Chum Bucket, I guess that's okay, because, that's a bucket of chum,
Yeah.
But the thing is, I was thinking about this before, this kind of emphasizes why the game is so different from the movie. In the movie, everything is thought out, everything has a meaning behind it. You hear a name, you see a design, it reflects something about the world and that person.
Well, I guess
now,
what I loved in the movie was that it was like, here's a thing that your brain is going to go fill in all the blanks because you saw a guy in stilts in a poison swamp.
Yeah.
Does it do any of this stuff?
Mad Max in one cutscene, has more lines of dialogue than the entire film.
Yeah.
It's just it's talkity talk, and it's talk about nothing. But I was actually going to say, because, the problem with the name Chum Bucket is, of course, that it's very close to the derogatory name, Cum Bucket.
Yes.
The thing is, if he was called Cum Bucket, that would mean something. It's like, if he was called Cum Bucket, you go up to him, he's like, good to see you again, Cum Bucket. And, he's deformed, he's, being beaten up on and everything, and you're like, oh, shit, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
But no, what's Chum Bucket? Nothing.
Well,
it's like, we thought of a random name that sounded a little bit interesting.
So they're kind of are they pulling their punches, or are they just not even trying to punch?
There's no punch in it. It's there's a character that's got feathers on him, and they call him Crowfoot. It's like, because I've got feathers on me coat.
Okay.
Who cares? Whatever. It means nothing.
Yeah.
Now that's not bad. Now I'm ragging on it a lot.
Yeah.
It's not a bad game.
It looks very nice.
It looks very nice. It's got a nice color palette to it.
Is there stuff in the world defined?
There is. Mainly it's collecting random scrap around.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where, so if you're watching the footage, we just had a cutscene where you meet Chum Bucket. The next part of this mission to progress is to walk 20 meters and start another cutscene. It's cutscene on cutscene, most of which is just completely unnecessary information. At least you can skip them, and I have started skipping all of them because there's never been a cutscene with any useful information in it.
It seems like the storytelling in the movie was so interesting, and the thing with the storytelling in the movie is would have been less effort to just you have to record much dialogue. You can just show some stuff and and just follow that kind of.
It's
format
like
from
you
the
could
movie.
have actually the game would have been designed before the game developers had seen the film. They saw designs, but they didn't see the film itself. So it looks nice when you get a car.
Yeah.
Because the game primarily is car driving, and the car driving feels good.
Yes. You're
slowly building up your car, but you have to wait to start customizing things as the story unlocks it. You have to keep doing story missions. Almost every story mission so far, drive up to a rock that you can't pass, get out, go along a corridor, and start punching guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's getting all punchy, and then because what I like the idea of is driving around.
Yeah.
That is what I want in the Mad Max
There's some really
game.
good things. So Chum Bucket rides in the back.
Yep.
If you stop the car and push up, he'll just jump on the front of the bonnet and start repairing the car. So you can take time to do that.
Yep.
You can jump out of the car during combat and fight people that are on ground. I just got rammed out of the car then in the footage. So you can vehicle in out. You get a harpoon that you can harpoon other cars.
Can you take other people's cars?
I haven't been able to yet, but I only tried once and that car was pretty damaged.
Yeah.
You can fire a gun from it, and targeting the other vehicles is really effective.
Mm-hmm.
It's got lots and lots of good stuff, but then it's just in this package, which is, if they just dropped you in an open world, and even the open world they have isn't that bad. There's a lot of things to do. There's like towers that are put up by enemy warlords, so you take them down to get control of areas.
Yeah.
As you do that, you'll get more friendlies in an area. There's like convoy routes where you can attack convoys. You get a big sniper rifle for the back of your car. So Chumbuck will actually jump in the driver's seat, and you can grab the sniper rifle,
that.
and you can start trying to take out snipers and long distance targets. It's just that when it goes into on foot, it's completely competent Batman combat, but the only time I've ever died was because I was trying to do something, like trying to see how I could break the game.
Yeah.
It's like, just push Y when a Y thing appears and you'll
that
always
kind of
be
normal,
safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really too much to do there. But the combat in the car feels good. And that's where this game really should have been focusing. If you could get anything like one of the chases from the movie, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, and maybe it is a shame that they didn't see what the movie was before it started, because maybe if they were to go back now, it'd be a very different thing that they turn out. Because what I want is basically, big open world that I'm in a car, I drive around and stuff happens.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I need.
So, and I ran into a number of small bugs, things like context-sensitive menus not appearing where they should be.
Yeah.
So this last bit of footage I've just got up here, this is just a race. It's the first race that I encountered in the game. And I liked a lot of design elements of it, like, it's just on the roads from the game world, but when it's a race, they've like gone over them with like red tire treads.
Okay.
So it's really easy to see them.
Yeah.
But every checkpoint, you've got to go through and hit these explosive barrels. You've always got to hit at least one barrel. But sometimes your car can just randomly ricochet and spin out off them.
Because they explode and...
Yeah, they explode, and it never seems to affect the AI cars, but sometimes for you, it'll just like, if it happens, the race is basically over.
Yeah.
Now, that was still alright, because I sort of worked out a way of not having it happen to me. But, if you want... In this race, I went straight out front, I'm doing fine. And this happened to me a bunch of times, because about this point of the race, suddenly everything would go tits up. And this was the first time I noticed it. There's a sniper out in the distance that just shot out one of my back tires. That happens every time. You've actually got to take an alternate route to avoid that sniper. But because it depends on where the camera is, you don't even always see the blowout.
Yeah.
The car just becomes undrivable at that point.
So you might as well just restart the mission.
So
does it let you? Can you see the button?
The easiest, there's no restart button, but if you just push the get out of car button, it ends the race.
Okay, but then you got to go back and
then you got to do the entire race again and everything.
Yeah.
It's not too bad, but I literally probably did this race 12 times before I could finally get to the end of it.
Too.
I'm like, God damn it. Because they give you a crappy car that doesn't have most of the abilities in your main car, and I'm just like, this is the blurst. Because the things that affect me don't affect the other drivers, which makes it feel unfair.
Yeah. You're playing different rules than
But other than those things that totally ruined it, I like the other elements.
Okay. Because you're not really selling me. You were saying that you were grumpy when you were playing this game.
Oh, yeah. I was tired as anything.
Yeah.
But after I finished playing this for the night, I still went on to play this week's Cheapskate.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed that when we get to it. So it wasn't just my grumpiness.
Okay, all right.
It wasn't just my grumpiness.
So it has...
beyond this, it's story-based. It goes through, you go to like enemy encampments and you check them out to reclaim an area. Then that encampment becomes friendly. It's got a lot of things that would work in an open world game. What this game needs to be, they need to make another one, because it's still good enough that it's
okay to play. You want Mad Max 2, where they model it off the movie?
No. Not they need to take this system, combine it with Shadows of Mordor, and get rid of the way they're doing the storytelling.
Like you want that dynamic.
We want the different warlord factions, and we want them moving. Even have it so that it's like 2 or 3 factions, and they're also moving against each other.
That's what I wanted to ask you, because the footage was up before. I saw you discovered a new enemy.
Yeah.
And how many different factions are there?
I don't know how many overall. I've probably put like 4 or 5 hours in the game. They all basically seem to be the same. Like, they have different costumes, but I've never seen them work against each other or anything.
It seems like in the Mad Max world, that kind of Shadows of Mordor kind of system would work really well. It seems like it would be a good fit.
Yeah.
And you could have gangs and stuff like that.
You could have your guy with crows on his cape fine.
Yeah, he's just one of the things. And
let's think, you just get all these different bits of scrap, throw them on a different guy, and like, if he's killed someone, take a bit of that armor and throw it on there. Make all sorts of wacky
make
characters.
the story.
Go wackier with it. It's not they've got like really good weather effects and everything. Like so much of it is great. It is a AAA game, and then it's just like, could we just drop all these game cliches? Like the cutscenes are unnecessary.
Yeah.
The force story is unnecessary. Just go, like you've gone open world. Just go with it.
Yeah.
Or make a good linear game. But in this, I kind of prefer that.
like, just vaguely, what is the story?
You lost your car and you want your car back.
Okay. All right.
I mean, that's the most Mad Max thing about it.
That's what I want.
I mean, other people have things they're fighting for.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Chumbucket's all about, oh, there's the prophecy, and you're the driver of the prophecy. It's like, oh, God, just shut up. It's like, oh, I need you to go get a sniper rifle. Oh, go get me that. And it's like, okay, I'll go get it. Walk up to it, pick it up, walk back to him. Oh, thank you for getting me this. I can use this. Oh, great prophet, thank you. It's like, just shut up. Get out of the cutscene. I don't care. Everything you say is just repeating the last thing you said, and I just want you to die.
You okay? Do you need a hug? You right?
Off, Chumbucket.
You right, buddy?
I like him in gameplay. He's good
Oh,
in gameplay.
yeah, look, I liked him jumping on the car. I thought that was
He's
cool.
a good gameplay mechanic.
Yeah.
He's just an infuriatingly written character. It's like, damn it. Yes, my Chumbucket with flies.
Well.
Okay.
So, not a sale then. Wait for Steam sales?
Yeah, it's a totally competent game. If you really love Mad Max, it's cool.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I mean, there's lots of just cool games around.
Yeah.
There's some
I
pretty
got Shadows
great
of
games
Mordor
around.
for like $15.
Yep.
And how would you say it is compared to Shadow of Mordor?
It's hard because Shadows of Mordor's structure and everything it brought is great and unique.
Yep.
But still, the world is a bit drab and it sort of gets very samey after a while. So while I still think that's a very important game and it did a lot of good things, I don't know. It's like it's not a 10 out of 10 game for me.
We haven't really seen anyone run with what that game did, though, which is
No,
kind of a bit
it's
of a
kind of a
shame.
bit disappointing,
Like,
yeah.
that didn't make it into Assassin's Creed is a bit weird.
Yeah, but Assassin's Creed's already got like a 10-year plan mapped out, so
Yes, so they just chuck it in like we'll see it in about 8 years.
it just says every October get money.
They roll like the time period die. Come on, Colonial Australia.
Oh, that'll be a good one.
Seriously though, Colonial Australia Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, we can go down to the Billabong, get ourselves some sheep.
Swagman's Creed.
We can commit a bit of genocide.
Why
Why did you have to bring that up,
did you
James?
guys just do that?
Because
God.
I'm not whitewashing our past.
Good, you shouldn't.
No.
You shouldn't.
What
You've been asked, Paul, how Witcher 3 is going, Mr. Video Game Player.
do you mean? How's it going?
How's it going, Witcher 3?
What, have you been playing it, or are you
No,
asking
no,
me
no,
how
Amy's
it's going
asking.
to be?
How's it going?
It's being asked on the chat how it's going.
Yeah.
Honestly, Witcher 3 hasn't grabbed me like Witcher 2 did, where I was obsessed with it.
Yep.
I still think the game's very good, but I'm still only in the first realm. Well, not the first.
Yeah.
The first realm where you do the griffin and everything. You pass that. When you're in that area after that, I'm still playing around in there. It's just slow going. I'll probably get to it in the Christmas holidays or something. Because it takes a lot of time. Because I played over 100 games this week.
All right,
There's
okay,
no
all right.
time for Witcher.
All right. Are we gonna do Game Club and then
No.
and
Game Club's at the
Senator
end.
Dare?
Game Club's
All
at
right.
the end.
Okay. All right.
We got a show listing of this, but before that, we got a bit of news.
Yep.
Little bit of news, not a whole lot this week.
Just a tiny bit.
Yeah. Okay. So are you looking forward to that super expensive Destiny DLC?
Oh man. Keep going.
Yeah.
All right.
You ready to play that new raid? It's not there at launch. Yeah. Gonna defend this $40, which in Australia.
No,
how much is it in Australia?
Confession.
Yeah.
I may have pre-ordered it.
I know you pre-ordered it.
Okay.
And I've already belittled you.
I did the maths.
Yeah.
Okay. So with this expansion, I collectively may have Mr. Producer may have paid. I think it was about 180 total for like the new DLC plus the original stuff. Now I've had a year out of Destiny. Dividing that by 12 comes to around $15 a month. So, all they have done is successfully got a bunch of chumps or chumpettes to subscribe to that game.
Actually, no woman has been fooled by this scam. It's a purely male scam.
Male scam.
Yeah.
Well, it's worked. If you think of it like a subscription, and I've played a lot of it, and I do go back to it every now and then and things like that, it's okay. But you just have to...
Ooh, high praise from Caesar. Okay.
But you just have to call...
It's quite all right.
You got to call the horse a horse and it's subscription based. It's like if you want to keep playing this game, you got to keep buying the DLC. And not having the raid is also super goddamn lame. They given all the shit they've had to they've copped because of their
lack of content.
To come around and say, look, we're not having that raid at launch.
Content's hard.
They're not even adding.
We can have a new vendor sell a new gun that's blue, a blue gun.
I've been so awesome.
I want a blue gun.
So I've been playing D3. I'm not going to talk about D3.
Yeah.
But just as the D3 loot system it's so much fun, and then I do go into Destiny, and they still haven't got that. It's still boring gun. The guns. Maybe this one they'll do something to fix the guns, but so far they just slight variants on each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got instructions from the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now, did you see? I'm gonna Samuel Jackson it up.
Yeah.
Did you see the new launch trailer for the Taken King?
No,
because
I watched one and I was like, oh, that doesn't look so bad, and then I realized I'd almost fallen into the man scam.
You know what they did?
What?
They put some Led Zeppelin over it.
That would have been expensive.
They've got Black Dog by Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And they completely sell it as more of that kind of Guardians of the Galaxy. we got that kind of retro rock song and we superimposed it over everything. And then
have you checked out Miley Cyrus's new album?
No, I haven't.
Why not?
Is it because I don't know? She's all right.
It's Miley Cyrus and the Flaming Lips.
What, really?
Yes.
There's all right. I'm there. Flaming Lips and Miley Cyrus. Sign me up, sir.
I haven't actually listened yet, but I will.
That sounds fantastic.
I'm going to get into Black Horse Armor. Very nice. Okay, so...
I do want to quickly correct my maths.
Yeah.
It was actually $11.25 a month. I did the maths, so seriously. I got the calculator and everything.
Better. I mean, that's fine. That's just $11.95 for your dignity once a month.
What song would you put over Destiny to make it work?
How can we be lovers if we can't be friends? I think it's appropriate.
All right, how's it go? I didn't know that song.
How can we be lovers if we can't be friends? Something other lyrics and another bit goes here. And how can we be? Because
I can. And there's the Dinklebot, or now
because
it's the Nolan
we're supposed
bot
to be obsessed with it, but the game's so shit I can't make friends with it.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's it. We're going hard on that Destiny. That Destiny has made only about $70 billion so far and has millions of fans. That's right. Speaking of games with millions of fans, we've got a pre-order bonus for Black Ops 3. It's Nuketown again!
But I already got that but I already gave it to me.
This time, they use 3s instead of E's.
I learned from when I was being a teacher that I don't understand the kids these days.
Yeah. We are the older generation.
But letters is numbers is letters. I'm assuming that's a thing that's passed.
I thought it was over too.
Yeah, I thought me having my finger on the pulse of exactly how dorky I am.
Well, I was pretty sure that Jeff K has grandchildren now. So leet speak is well done. I don't know, that's just made up.
But he could. He's a smarty man.
He is. Does everyone remember that mediocre Deadpool game? That I was really excited at because it was being taken away from being sold again ever. So I got myself a copy and I was like, I have a rare game.
Yeah.
And then they just re-released it on Steam a while ago, and now it's coming to current gen consoles. Well,
so instead of
making a new one to tie in with the Deadpool movie, they're just releasing the old one, which was okay. Which was how you described Destiny. So I guess this is as good as Destiny. Enjoy it. And finally, I just wanted to say the Jackbox Party Pack, which was an amazing collection of board game style games that used your phones as inputs, great for playing at parties and such. They're doing a sequel to it. And this time it's going to be built around them being able to add extra games to it and more things to it.
Because I do really want to give this thing a go. I still have never played it.
It's bloody great.
And I think I really like it. I mean, using your mobile phone as a controller is genius.
It is.
Completely genius.
Because I'm a genius.
You didn't come up with the idea.
Before we get into the Ludum Dare,
Vote Greens,
I'm going to talk about some PlayStation Plus. Because PlayStation Plus week was this week. Hooray!
Yeah, well, I haven't checked. What do they get?
We've got La Mulana X, or EX.
Okay.
La Mulana has now had multiple sort of re-releases.
Is it co-op?
No. The Vita version is sort of the last version that came out. It's like the penultimate, I believe. La Mulana, if you don't know, is kind of like Splunky mixed with Super Metroid mixed with Dark Souls. And I'm not using that in a everything's like Dark Souls reference. I'm using that in that it's a brutally tough game that does not explain itself, and you discover things by working through it and discovering the lore by just
Alright, so what was that one
observing
called
the
again?
world. That's La Mulana.
La Mulana.
I thought that would be where I'd be obsessed this week.
Yes.
It was hard, and I said, I'm not ready for hard. So then I thought,
I thought you were always ready for hard.
Super Time Force Ultra is out on Vita. I'm like, hey, I hated that game when it came out on 360. But you know what? Maybe I like it on Vita.
Yes, and?
Still don't like it.
Oh, well. What did you think had magically changed?
I just thought it might have been so good at me now, because I still love the look of it, and I still love the idea of it. So I'm like, maybe I was just in a bad mood. Maybe I was in a grumpy mood when I played it.
Yeah, oh yeah. Paul was grumpy
I feel
again.
it's a game that I'm going to play like every couple of years and like, let's just try it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like me with Total War games.
Yeah.
Just every now and then I'm like, alright, I'll give it a go.
So, other than that, on the PS3, they've got Twisted Metal,
Oh, okay.
which I went to download,
Yeah.
but it's 14 gig.
Man, okay.
Why is Twisted Metal 14 gig?
This Xbox One thing, how they all have to be kind of backwards compatible
Yeah.
now. I wish PS4 did that.
I wish PS4 had it,
Yeah.
That'd be good. But the one good thing about the Twisted Metal one being there is that Twisted Metal on PS3 was a multiplayer game.
Yes.
And so whenever you can drop all of PS Plus into a multiplayer game at once, it revitalizes the community.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was cool, because I know that people that liked the game couldn't play it because there wasn't enough of a community anymore.
Yep.
So that'll give that a bit of a boost. And I think there's Telsagrad. That's on PS4 as well. But the one that caught me and didn't let go was Xeodrifter, which
Now, is this also on 3DS?
I believe so.
Because I think that's where I've seen it.
And the footage I recorded today, because I don't have any way of recording off my Vita, is just recorded off a PC version
Yep.
that I also had. But I never got around to playing it. But I thought, hey, this looks about the right scale for my
Ooh,
Vita.
it's very pretty.
This
And I do want to play it on the Vita.
Yeah.
It's very pixely.
So for James, you'll like it. It's very direct controls, very, very accurate controls.
Good. So my Commander Keen skills come into play.
Yep.
Good.
It is a Metroidvania.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, your ship's being damaged, and you've gone into this area, and there are 4 planets. You can drive from planet to planet, and each planet will have different abilities to find and different things to explore.
Yeah.
And you sort of have to make your way through these 4 planets, and you have to go backtrack between them, open up new paths, do all that sort of stuff, but in a very minimalist way. And I found it really, really satisfying.
All right.
It's like it doesn't bog itself down with anything.
All right, got a question about this
Yeah.
one. So I'm doing a bit more commuting now,
Yes.
and I'm pretty sure this is on 3DS. Would it be a good commute game?
Yeah, perfect.
All right, I might. I might pick it up.
literally, we've started this footage at the beginning of the game, and I ran to the first boss in, what was that, 30 seconds?
Yep.
Something like that.
Okay, so pretty quick. Like, yeah.
If you know, that'll take longer, especially if you're killing enemies. I just wanted to show a bit of the game.
Yeah.
And I played it on the Vita already, so I'm like, I'll just restart it on the PC. But so the first ability you get here is a little submarine that lets you go underwater.
Okay,
Get
all
that?
right, yeah.
Then the next sort of ability you get is, if you notice, there's a back plane that the monster just jumped to.
Yep.
Which
Which on 3DS actually can work pretty well.
Well, like Mutant Muds, except
Yeah.
I didn't like Mutant Muds. I like this. You can jump between planes with another ability.
Okay,
So
alright.
it's that sort of thing. It's lots of things about traversal.
Mhm.
There's lots of secrets to unlock.
Yep.
And one of the things I really like is that for the weapons, you don't get different weapons. And this is something I think is absolute genius. You just get gun upgrades.
Yep.
And there are a whole bunch of stats. So you've got like firing speed, projectile strength, split or wave movements, and all these things. And all of those different abilities, you can just put points into them. And there's 3 slots because you don't lock the points into them.
Oh, so you can spend them elsewhere.
So you can
redistribute.
You can design 3 guns.
Ah, okay, that's cool.
And then modify them as you need to. So
Yeah.
you might be up against a certain boss or anything, or in a certain area where you're like, man, there's a lot of enemies. It'd be great to have a split here
So you can go and modify your gun to
be
give you
that kind of
split.
gun. And the more you
that's
play,
really cool.
the more options you can do because you get more points to play around
Yeah.
with. And as soon as I understood that system, I was like, this game is like a little piece of genius.
Well, I do love it when I can just go play around with different builds.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
not locking me into that. And if it's a game that lets me do that, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, it's great fun. I would recommend it 200%.
200.
200%.
Would you recommend it more than Mad Max?
Yes.
Yes.
Also, it's much, much cheaper than Mad Max. And if you play it Plus, it's 100% free. So I think you also can play it on PS4.
All right, okay. Well, I guess it's the thing. It's on Vita as well.
It's on Vita, yeah.
So I have been talking about getting it on 3DS. Or, well, I guess you just play it on Vita.
Well, you already own it because you've got PS4.
Because I got it, yeah. So it makes sense to get it on the Vita.
Yeah.
And that Vita screen is really nice.
It's really good, yeah. You might get a nice effect with the jumping between planes on the 3DS, but other than that, the Vita screen is so nice.
Yeah, but free.
Yeah. Okay. So I had a special surprise for James.
Yes.
Oh. Hi, Lisa. You're my wife.
And Gustavo
da Silva.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, James, I've got a surprise for you.
Surprise, huh?
Yeah, I got a bit of footage for a new video game.
Video game, huh?
Yeah. Now, could Mr. Producer load it up?
We're loaded up, huh?
Yeah. My wife is really nice.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Also,
this here is a game that solves both James and my fetishes.
Whoa, dude. Dude, is this an ant game?
It is.
It is an ant game?
It's a
motherfucking ant game?
This is some tech footage of Ant Simulator. So you know how much I love scale, and I know how much you lust for ants.
It's an ant game!
It's an ant game.
I am... Oh, I get so excited.
Look at that go! Look at that ant!
Okay, what can I do as an ant? What can I do?
You can walk on a leaf.
Okay,
you can walk on some dirt.
All right.
Maybe you can suck some sap, I don't know.
Can I dig?
I don't know if there's digging ability.
No, man, seriously, I gotta dig.
Man, I literally found this 5 minutes before we left.
All right. Can I be the queen? Is that Sim-Ant, Paul? Is that Sim-Ant?
It's 100% Sim-Ant.
Is it everything my hopes and dreams have ever wanted in an ant game?
It's everything. Yeah.
And more. And more. Please say more, Paul.
And more. You can go down into the colony.
I can go underground.
Oh yeah, of course. You're an ant. Where else would you go?
Is he gonna go under? God, please.
No. So you can look at that one, James. It's called Ant Simulator. It simulates being an ant.
Can I throw my money at it?
You try. You got some money to throw?
No. Not yet.
Here. Just pull out your credit card and hold it up to the camera.
And show the back.
Yeah. Here, throw some. Oh, wait. There's no. There's just some receipts.
Just throw it.
Just have my wallet.
Throw it.
Okay, good. Okay, now guess what it's time for, James? 50 reviews.
Oh God. Can I go? Do I need to be here?
We're not going to do 50 reviews. We do have a montage of games that I played through during it, and then we have a top 10 afterwards.
Okay, all right.
So I spent a lot of time playing the Ludum Dare this week. The theme for this year's competition was You Are the Monster. Now, this resulted in a lot of different kind of games.
Yes.
A lot of which were obviously a game they just wanted to make, and then they said, you're a ghost. That's it. Yeah. That's how we're tying it in, and some really went quite far with it. The games that we've got here are only ones I could record footage from. So ones that were like on web, that were embedded on web and everything were a bit too difficult. So we sort of skipped those. So if you didn't have a standalone version of the game, no comment for you. You can't get ranked. Okay. So if I go to, can we just start rolling the footage on that, Mr. Producer?
All right. Go.
Okay. So this was a relatively common thing that came up, which actually inspired doing Mr. Wario as our amiibo for the week. A lot of playing around with WarioWare style mini games. Now this was the first one I played, but not the best. This was still really cute. This was just
looks very nice.
Yeah, well, you were a monster at a party and you do that. Again, lots of sort of retro style platformers using a lot of physics. So I'm not even going to bother saying the names. I'll have a list of them they can look out later.
All right, so it's like a vampire.
I'm literally
game.
only showing like 30 seconds. What I love with this one is that you launch up, but then you like hold the string.
Oh,
it's like,
okay.
Whoa!
Oh, this one looks.
This is just basically Angry Birds.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
all right. You blow it. In this though, you actually have to protect the pigs. So it's interesting. So that's a physics game where you have to blow up part of the things to get the treasure chest whilst protecting another element. In this case, the pigs.
Okay.
So yeah, but we don't need to talk about every game directly, James, because it's like kids. Like this was just a beautifully rendered game. Yeah.
I don't know what the game is, but.
It's like Blast Corps. You just knock things down. In fact, this was another common theme, having that sort of isometric Blast Corps style, but this was adorable.
Yeah,
The
that's
gods
some
who
nice
are walking
animation on
around. Again, we had this third-person sort of shooters, which used an interesting mechanic to get around. Now, if you're not aware of the Ludum Dare, it's 2 competitions.
Yeah.
It's a 48-hour competition and a 72-hour competition. That's the Jam's the 72-hour, and all the games I played were from the Jam.
Yeah.
There are over 1,500 games.
Wow.
So-
Man, I need to do one of these. We should do like an FMVGames entry.
We could. And you can see a lot of things come through, like this game is actually very similar to the game Fingered that we talked about the other week. So people having to make choices between things. So you can see sort of what's coming up in what's popular in gaming. Like, you get a lot of people trying to do a retro platformer. This one was particularly awful, I thought.
Yeah.
Mr. Dr. Particulous, I didn't know if I was supposed to touch things or not touch things. My playtime was literally not much longer than the 20 seconds this video runs for. Lots of joke games and simple things. But it's really interesting to see the quality that comes out.
Yeah.
Because, as you saw that cute Zilla game, the look of that was fantastic.
Yeah, it looked very nice.
And then other things, like this. This is just a basic Flash game. It's using the drunken concept from Hemdale back in the day, where you're too drunk, so it's hard to aim.
And you're throwing darts.
Yeah. This is where I thought the competition was going to go, and we will come back to it in the top 10. But that's where someone is controlling the boss of a game.
Yep.
So it's okay. So in this one, you've got a couple of attacks, and it's a Mega Man style boss. And it actually is interesting because when you're controlling the pattern of a boss, it's like they're actually pretty limited in what they're allowed to do.
Yeah.
So you have to work in some really heavy limitations to strike, because it's the hero that's got all the agility and the choices. So I thought that was a really interesting thing to go around. Again, here this is basically Zelda, but you play the boss. And then the game wants you to stay in the boss's area, and you say, screw that, and you just walk backward to the game, killing all the villagers.
Okay, all right.
Again, not a great game, but, I liked when they were saying, well, we'll just reverse an actual game mechanic.
Yeah.
A couple of dance games this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's 2 in this little montage. This was the better one. You got to dance and entertain the kids at the birthday party. I don't know who's the real monster here. I think it's children everywhere. Push S. Push W.
Well, I guess I can see the kids in a monster costume, but yeah.
Weirdly common concept. Going around popping kids' balloons. This is not the only entry.
Really?
In fact, I don't even think this is the only entry in the montage.
I get the stealing candy for the baby.
Yeah.
But popping the balloons is just being a jerk.
I just got glasses now. I'm a cool
You kicked
dude.
that tree.
I did.
Ooh, this looks pretty.
This was a very aesthetically beautiful game.
Yeah.
Terrible gameplay. But when you're looking at what some people do in a very short time, well, you take the bits that they can do and the bits that they can't. And this is what's really exciting about playing through all this sort of stuff. Normally I wait till afterwards.
Ooh, that looks nice.
Yeah, it looks very nice.
Beautiful.
I wait till afterwards and I just see the top ones.
Yeah.
I don't go and look through the bulk of the stuff. And
there was some other sucker that can do that for you.
There was some of the stuff, some of the ones I picked, and even some of the top ones that I've got, that basically had no one had commented on them. No one had found them. The person couldn't do any promotion. And what else are you going to do? If you can't get anyone to come look at it, no one's even going to try it. So it's really kind of sad. So I do encourage people to just go, the worst thing though?
What?
So on the Jam page, there's 64 pages of entries. And I went up to page 20 on the first day. And went, okay, I'm up to 20. I've marked all the ones that I'm looking at, downloaded. Okay, I've got everything ready. That's great. Just a little stop here. This little sketch game.
I really like it.
It's beautiful art style. Again, they never really made a game out of it, but hey, beautiful art style.
Yeah.
The next time I went to the Ludum Dare page, those pages, randomized.
Oh, really? Yeah, okay.
I had to flick through all of them again just in case I'd missed something that was important. And I'd probably missed some fantastic ones. This is like reverse sort of shooter game, except you have to attack people on the ground with beat to the music. I'm not sure if I just had no sense of rhythm to the song they had, or the beat detection was off.
Yeah.
But I wasn't very good at it. A few people tried adventure games.
Yeah.
This person did an adventure game in 3D, but it's still point and click. And they worked out why you don't do that. Because it's really, really difficult to control and move the camera around and tell them where to go. But then it's also, you can investigate that hot dog really well.
Man, you're checking the
Oh
shit
man,
out of that
I only
thing.
realized afterwards you can wiggle the mouse.
Yeah.
And just like move the hot dog around. Oh, it's amazing. So, God. This is just reverse Pokemon. You got to free all the creatures that were having kidnapped by the people.
I don't know if that means you're. I guess you're the pocket monster.
Yeah, you're a pocket monster. You got to let them out of the cage. Who are we freeing? We're freeing Grobus. Yeah, you got to.
Another balloon popper.
Another balloon popper. This was interesting that you had to.
And I like the kids start crying.
I love making the kids cry. But if you pop the balloons too quickly, it raises parental awareness. So
Parental awareness.
Too many crying kids. They're like little top-down semi-action strategy games and stuff like that. Like, it's so broad, and what people can do in 3 days. And most of them in 2 days.
The tools that are available now for games
it's
is
so
just
good.
amazing.
And obviously you get some products that are just brought in by artists, and some that are like hideous but got some really good gameplay that's like, you're a programmer. And actually, this is the start of a few some really good third-person platforming games.
Okay.
Which I really think is gonna, with like Happy Hell, Ukulele. I mean, they're the 2 big ones coming out. This has got a stealth aspect to it as well. But it's like platforming is like it's interesting. Look at the Ludum Dare sort of as a sign of
like a siren game.
of what's going to
that's
come, and also what trends are really picking up. Because I mean, it's hard to make every genre in that amount of time. You don't see a lot of first-person shooters, for instance, or you do see a couple. Actually, this was an interesting horror game, playing the monster. You actually had to be seen by the people inside the house, go in front of windows and such.
Oh, to get them to come out.
Yeah, so then they come out, then you could kill them.
Yeah.
Like,
Idiots.
lots of cool. So it's been a really interesting competition, and the themes are always interesting. So there's only... so watch out for Green Lantern. And that's the thing, it's like a lot of these games will get extended, especially once they get a little bit. And some of them are just... Like this game here, this is just an endless runner that they could probably just release for on iPhone now.
And
it's one button. Click, click. Look, I'm killing some chickens with armor.
Take those stupid chickens.
Killed that chick with the sword.
That'll show her with the sword.
Yeah. And this is where I think people just really... This is like an example of like a nice looking but very lazy game. Where it's
I think if you're gonna be doing this, you need to just you go batshit crazy, right? Like,
yeah.
And this is like it's one of the reasons I love jams is that they kind of like they force you to really give you the random thing. So it's like you got to hit this theme, but also the time limit.
Oh yeah.
And that's when like I find that like I end up being the most creative. It's like when it's like the kind of jam game I did, the memory warning one.
Yeah.
Where I had like I turned frame rate into a mechanic.
That I thought that was a very clever game.
But like I wouldn't have done that unless it was like these are the restrictions. This is the time period.
But restriction always breeds inventiveness. This game was terrible for just the fact that it's isometric and you use up, down, left, right. And I can never work out which way I was facing.
Don't do that.
I didn't like you, weird pig going with a machine gun. Anyway. This was one of the things where I get tricked by beautiful looking games, and then I'd realize they're visual novels with no interactive elements.
I think they're Paul's thing.
I don't think I'm going to go out here.
Yeah.
I don't think a visual novel like this, which is just a still frame that tells a story, I don't think that's a game jam game. I think it needs an interactive element.
Well, look at you, the boss of
game. I'm the boss of games.
Yeah.
If you can't even choose to yes, go with the dame, or no, don't go with the dame, it's not a game. It needs at least an illusion of choice.
So really, Rapture wasn't a game.
This game's Trooper Starship.
Trooper Starship.
It's legally distinct. Everyone. We're gonna go get one of these troopers. Come on. We've only got 20 seconds of footage. Attack him! Attack that legally distinct Rico! So good. This was actually one of the ones that was in like the top 15 that I had beforehand. This game, It's actually an adventure game primarily.
You're a giant eyeball.
You're an eyeball in a noirish detective
Yeah.
world, and here it goes into a platformer. But you notice I was picking up alcohol.
I did.
It wants you to play with a controller. You're an alcoholic.
Oh, okay.
When-
I noticed you got you're very like bloodshot eye.
Well, as the eye gets more bloodshot,
yeah.
the controller starts to rumble, and that seems to be like, and it just rumbles more until you can get another shot.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's not fully seen as a gameplay concept, and it will eat the shit out of your batteries if someone tried to do it as a gameplay concept. But I actually thought that's kind of cool, where it actually just made the game a little bit more difficult if you weren't constantly drinking alcohol. Yeah. This is just another of those isometric destroy the city ones, but multiplayer. And you got to tag as many bits of the building as possible, and you can attack your other monsters. It's just like really cute.
Yeah.
You just grab 4 controllers and you can just jump into it now.
One of the things I found from my jam experience, go multiplayer.
Multiplayer is fun.
Yeah, well, it's like as soon as you can bring in another human, you've solved AI.
Problem is, it's hard for people to rate though, because if they can't get people around.
For this particular thing, it does make it more difficult.
Okay, we're getting real close to the end now. We're getting real close to my top 10. It's going to be fantastic. This you get to eat children in this game. Always good.
Delicious children.
Monster. And you got to, then you learn how to tempt the children out.
Oh, God.
That's what we want to see. And this gets very similar to
Finger
that we did before in the other episode. But it just has a few things like looks uncomfortable. Like I don't know who looks uncomfortable. But yeah, really interesting.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Shall we jump into the top 10?
All right, go to your top 10.
Okay. So number 10.
Number 10.
A bad wolf king is hard to feed. Now, why is this game number 10? Well, this is a platformer. It uses sort of
a spherical world.
A spherical world like Mario Galaxy, and it actually plays really well. This was one of the most fun games I played. My major problem with it, other than there's no end game to it yet, it's still just like a basic movement thing.
Oh God, I want to play a spherical world crafty game now. That just sounds
It would
great.
be cool, wouldn't it? But I can't work out how you're the bad guy.
Oh,
You're just a block. I can't do anything.
didn't you read the attached README which explained the story?
No, I did not.
That's
I did
a problem.
not. So it's actually a really good platformer, and it's really fun to play, and I love the visual style of it. Just didn't actually match the theme at all. So I think 10 is actually quite generous.
So lost a few points for just not hitting the theme. All right.
Then I learned the double jump move, and I was like, awesome. Okay, so number 9.
9.
There were quite a few trying to do like the old Deathworm thing.
Yep.
This was Super Sea Serpent Simulator, and certainly went for that. But this has to be one of my favorite art
As
styles.
far as aesthetics go, that's amazing.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Got kind of that paper thing
It's
going
like
for
that Deathfin game, that papercraft sort of look to it, and really, really nice. And even just the way that the water moves, it sort of folds more than anything else. Absolutely gorgeous.
Kind of a bit of stretching and thing.
Yeah, and it actually
amazing.
plays. Actually, one of the nicest things that you can't see here is that the music, when you go to the surface, gets sort of all tinny and like heavier.
Yeah.
Well, when you go down, it calms down and is a little bit more muffled and more
that's
relaxing.
A nice touch. They didn't have this sitting there half developed.
I don't know. It's a gorgeous looking game.
Yeah.
Just the feel of going up and down with the audio, and then just the look of those graphics. I was like, man, that is awesome. So that's Super Sea Serpent Simulator. Number 8.
Number 8.
Massacre Monday. It's like GTA 1 and 2, except you're a terrible demon from the This was just a straight like, I'm causing horrible havoc. This is fantastic. It does the whole GTA thing of as you start killing people and getting combos of killing people. Yes, it's still like GTA 1 and 2, you are still a monster. And they just send in more and more people. So you get tanks and jets and all the people coming in, and you've just got to... If you keep killing people, you get health.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So it takes the thing that was really the fun part of GTA 1 and 2, which is just gone crazy.
And getting all the cars together and then getting the cascade explosions and everything. Like, it's very simple. They just stuck with it. But I don't think you can actually destroy the tanks. I really tried.
Oh, you weren't trying hard enough.
Oh, maybe I wasn't.
Smash harder, boy.
If only I'd smashed one more time. I wasn't smashing exactly the right amount. But what I actually, the best bit I think once all they come out, other than all the vehicles that come out, they start doing line airdrops.
Yep.
So you'll get like a line of bombs falling on the ground, which just keeps you moving around the environment.
Yes.
So it's just like, it's simple. It was certainly doable in that time frame.
Were there any Elvis Congo lines?
No, not yet. I'd like to see that
I
added
feel
to
like that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I'd certainly like to see them just turn this into a slight. There are the bombs going there. I'd like to see this turn into a slightly larger game.
I could see something here.
Yeah, just for Vita level stuff or
just
an arcade game.
Taking what was really the best about early GTAs.
Yeah.
And just like build a game around that. That's actually a really good idea.
Okay.
Really good idea.
Number 7.
Number 7.
There are tourists in my castle.
What?
We're going for some pixel art.
I don't want tourists in my castle.
Yeah. Look at
God
them.
damn it, tourists.
They're cute.
Get
They're
into my
good
freaking
tourists.
castle.
Yeah. So you are a vampire.
Yep.
Tourists have decided your castle is a great place to be, and well, you get to navigate around, eat them, and turn them into undead monsters of the night. They can hide in cupboards, and you can open the cupboards and then take away their life from there.
So how do you die in this?
Here's where I'm like, what's the challenge of this? Watch me. Oh, open window!
Oh no!
That's right. As you navigate the castle, there can be all sorts of.
Oh well, it's daytime.
Yeah,
exactly. He was sleeping. My God
coming in
damn
the
it,
day.
tourists, just get out.
So yeah, you've got to find your way around the castle and just play around with that. Now, while it is actually really basic at the moment, I actually like. If those tourists, if they could be going around like opening windows and all sorts of stuff, and you could be using the henchmen to try and get past things,
Yeah,
I'm going to struggle. I never get over these crates, by the way.
Yeah.
I cry myself to sleep trying to get over those crates. Let me just bat one more bat. Come on!
Come on, you get.
I only get to bat
you
3
try
times.
Being better at this game.
Yeah, I'm not very good at it. It's true. But yeah, I'd love to see this as a bigger game. I think it would be. It takes that tiny tower
Did
aesthetic.
you just eat that nun?
I did eat that nun.
You just made a vampire nun.
Yeah, I just.
Alright, game of the year.
Yeah, it's really cool. Okay, so what are we up to? Number 6.
Number 6.
Thanks for that, James. Okay, the excellently named Mild-Mannered Richard.
Okay, all right.
So you are a monster in Aztec times.
Vast untapped universe.
You can launch in a direction from your tail, so it's sort of a physics game. You can also roll. But your tail will stick onto any rock wall, so you can jump up walls and everything.
Yeah.
I think this is actually a very terrible run I do here. But the whole time you're being chased by an angry mob of Aztecs. But the thing is, Richard's not really a mean monster.
No, I can see he just wants out of there.
So every time you run over someone and kill them, he's like, "Oh, sorry. Oh, pardon me."
Oh, really? So he's voiced as well.
He's voiced. Yeah. And he's quite adorable.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, like just to have that level of character put into a game that's made so quickly as well. So here I'm going to totally fail trying to get up this wall.
But you tried.
And then,
I do like the facial animation on this guy's.
Oh yeah, it is a slightly unique twist on sort of a popular physics game style, but like they pulled it off so well in the time they had. Oh no, here comes the wall of angry Aztecs! Watch out! Oh, I'm sorry. What are you going to do to me? There we go. Beautiful. So, number 5.
Now it's time for number 5.
Starvin Sasquatch.
Right.
Yep.
He looks hungry.
Yep. This is basically this is Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, I'm sold.
Yeah. You're a Sasquatch and you go out into camps and you have to get food, but not just any food. You start each level with an amazing shopping list.
Yeah.
Then you've got to go and get those actual elements from it. So this is the first level. So you're just going to go. So I go. I have to not be seen by the child.
You want bacon and eggs?
Yeah. So I just go around the edges, and the guy's got a line of sight.
Yeah. Oh, you can see what his field of vision
is.
Yeah.
Go to the esky, get them out. But as the levels continue, you have to start hiding behind trees, you have to start going into buildings, rummaging through different things, and then when you actually get the elements, you physically have to take them out and put them in your little satchel.
It's like in Enviro style.
Yeah, exactly. It's adorable. And then close the lid. I'm absolutely, like, the art style again, absolutely perfect. It's shippable standard.
It looks gorgeous.
Yeah, and just a fun little twist on that.
Yeah.
Like, it's, puzzle stealth game with a really nice setup. Plus 4 sausages, 1 ketchup, 1 mustard. Yeah, I think I have to go on the channel with that. Okay, so number 4.
Now it's time for some more. It's number 4.
You know, either we started some numbers, we skipped a number, or I put up 11.
Whatever, we can have 2 4s.
Yeah, I put up 11. Okay,
right.
we're going to have a number 0 pick.
All right,
no, we
zero.
didn't. No, that's right. That's another game afterwards. That's not a... No,
Okay,
there is only 10.
Good.
There is only 10. Okay, this is Wayward. This, again, if you notice, I'm a real sucker for games that look finished.
Yeah, there is a strong correlation.
So this is... there's a blood trail from your village.
All right. Yeah.
But again, you go like, so you're the monster. So, yeah, you're sort of following it along. First little encounter with a couple of that. You got to hold the string back. It's very
nice.
Unfortunately, it actually took me ages to realize there's sort of a run dodge, which you're going to need later. I'm going to spoil the twist for you. When you get to the end of it, there's a mother protecting her cubs, and you kill the mother.
Basically, you're the hunter.
And it ends with it's just saying like you are the monster or something like that. But absolutely lovely. I mean, you can take you look at games like Titan Souls really did that top-down archery thing, and just the love of survival games at the moment. Like this could be something fantastic. Okay, so number 3.
Number 3, it's time for 3.
You ready for some style?
Oh man, wait, is that a blurry face?
That is a blurred out face.
Lance picked up on it.
Okay, that was me testing if I could go in the
All
water.
right, you could.
No, you can't. The game's you died. So I am the sun.
All right, you are the sun. All right.
This is really purely on here for aesthetics.
It is like having a blurred face in the main character. Really like
the grainy look of it, the lankiness of the character, the way it's animated. So the game in here, we'll just let the footage roll forward a bit.
Yep.
There's a little bit of you drug me with kindness so I can pretend to exist. Like, it's a whole bunch of like bullshit meaning something.
It's got like a big tower in the background, like kind of Half-Life 2 thing you're gaming for.
What you're going to get here is you're going to start getting just lines of bad guys coming out of both those towers, both the small and the big one. And they just sort of endlessly come towards you, except then they start glitching out, and I'm not sure if they're bugged or if it's like a deliberate choice. Like they'll start sliding around, and there is an end to this game.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll stop it before it so that people can play around with it. You got to kill 20, 30 of the guys. The camera's not great. You can't control the camera independently. But goddamn, does it look good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you think it looked as good without the blurry face? How important is that blurry face to you?
I think blurry face is important to the aesthetics of it. But then, because it sort of ties into that whole glitch aesthetic.
Yes. Yeah.
But the grayscale, so not just black and white, having that grayscale with sort of the very blown out whites.
Yeah, and the kind of film grain and all that kind of jazz. Yeah. No,
if you had a bit more Dark Souls combat and a better camera, I mean, I think this is
hard to get Dark Souls camera combat in 3 days.
Yeah, it's very hard to do a full-on 3D.
Yeah.
I thought they did pretty goddamn well for what they did.
And everyone looks naked.
Yeah, I love a naked man game. Yeah, see, they're all coming for me forever. Anyway, okay, so time for
number 2.
It's number 2. Oh no, we're still watching the end. I killed enough guys. Yeah. Just leave it. Oh no, don't forget it. Whatever. I think. Okay, Trick Parade.
All right.
So I loaded this up and said looks like someone's made something in RPG Maker.
Yep.
Whoa.
I'm not sold, Paul. It's like, all right, it looks like a thing.
Okay.
All right.
So
why is it?
We're thinking Earthbound?
Okay. Yep.
Now the combat, at the moment I've only got Ghost Chest, I'm going to be scared. The combat is WarioWare.
Oh! Sold!
Fucking sold instantly. You get to do attacks up to 5 as long as you don't drop one. So you do more attacks, the more little puzzles little WarioWare games you do. And the different costumes you get give you access to different playlists of scares.
Holy crap.
And the different scares are better against different kinds of enemies.
Paul, can I borrow your wallet again?
It's an amazing idea. Absolutely genius, I thought.
There has been nothing that's captured what I loved about WarioWare.
I figured the lights on and off. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Is there any nose picking?
No nose picking that I've noticed.
No, this is great. I want WarioWare in everything.
Yeah. I think this was Like the problem is going to be like getting enough in to sustain a full game, but as long as you
Yeah.
don't go too heavy-handed on the amount of combat, you can keep that at a decent level. Okay, so that brings us to our number 1.
All right.
Now you remember earlier when I said playing the boss,
Yes.
and we watched that.
I didn't get to do my song.
Okay, do a number 1
Get
song.
ready for some fun. It's number 1. Oh,
So
really let that hang there.
hang there, yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
This is the old one.
All right.
So this is the exact same concept as the game we played earlier. The one that looked like Mega Man.
Yes.
Except this one looks fucking amazing.
All right.
So this is single screen,
Yes.
and I am this old god. Like, I had to look at the controls because they didn't have them up there at first. So basically, you're an old one in the cave.
Yep.
There is a secret crystal on your head. Think of it as your Shadow of the Colossus weak point.
I don't want anyone to take my crystal.
Yep.
That's my crystal.
And I wake up,
Yep.
and I've got control of left fist, right fist. I can shake, and in a
And you
emergency
can open
circle-
your mouth.
Yep. And it's very slowly, they start swarming in a couple of people. And at first, the game's incredibly easy.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, like, oh, did they ever turn up the challenge?
That's nice.
It is. You could put this on anything.
That's good. It's a nice screen shake. What's the word last week, Paul? What
What
was the word?
I don't remember.
It's juice.
Juice. There's a lot of juice in this game. And people climb up the side of you and you
Yeah.
shake them off. It has such a strong visceral sense. It's so perfect for what it was.
The animation on that cubey stone is beautiful.
Yeah,
It's just the way the eyes close a little bit as it's going up.
Yep.
And just a little bit of raising, and like it's just so much weight to that. The way the shoulder moves, even the flickering of the particle effects on the top, and the way it sways.
Yeah.
I am super impressed.
I think this is an amazing
I mean,
achievement.
that's taking a very simple mechanic, and then just like polishing the shit out of it.
Yeah.
But what, 3 days, right?
Yeah.
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 Well-
I'm always finished just as watching it again. Like this was
even
mad.
the little particle effects on the little people coming in, the little lighting.
Yeah,
and-
they've got all their lights
like-
and everything. Yeah, I was very, very pleased to find this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very nice, very, very nice.
Okay, so that
Yes?
finally
Wow.
is my Ludum Dare.
There's some really cool stuff
coverage.
in there.
It was a
Thank
really
you,
cool
Paul,
thing.
Thank you for playing so many games.
Playing 100 games.
And 100, and whole 100, and filtering through that for us.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so that pretty much brings us up to today's game club.
Whew.
Yeah.
All right.
We've got a lot of content today.
Yeah, wow, it's
Okay.
big episode.
There are some slight spoilers in the discussion of this game club. I recommend it as a
But
game
no,
worth
Paul,
playing.
everyone's played it already.
Well, that's
That's the idea.
You should have
I
played
mean,
it.
you may probably haven't,
I mean,
but,
like, it's not
you know.
going to kill you if you know these spoilers.
No,
It's not like
no.
it's huge story or anything. If you do want to jump before we cover it, though, next week's game is, what is it, James?
It is
Fishing Planet.
Planet.
Because we love fishing, apparently.
Fishing's great.
And that's available on Steam, and you can get the links on the show notes and all that jazz. Okay, so what we played this week was The Stranger. This was a final assignment for a university, I believe.
Okay, because all right, so it's a student project.
Yes.
Okay, all right, that kind of makes sense to me. There was a few things I saw in this and I'm like, it's a bit.
So,
kind
right
of
off the
rookie mistake.
bat,
Yep.
they love the style of Wind Waker.
Yes.
They're like, Wind Waker's great, but we're going to do a first-person exploration game, and I don't know what I'd put it in the realm of. Sort of, you've woken up on this beach, and there's a squirrel there. There's an early puzzle, which I found out I'm surprisingly bad at throwing a basketball through the hoop in this
I
game.
didn't get it through.
Didn't you?
But I got it close, and he said close enough is good enough, which is the creed
Which is
of my life.
Which is funny on its as an answer
Yeah,
anyway
yeah.
in this. So the island's filled with some interesting characters. So you've got the squirrel. You've got another sort of iconic.
Man, you're really
figure.
bad at throwing this ball through.
I am. I didn't quite understand that arc mechanic at first. So and then it's just
You
like
tried again.
I had to go closer to get a higher
Yeah,
arc
yeah.
to get over the rim, and I get there eventually. So you've got this icon. Every item you pick up also has a little description
Yeah,
with
the
it.
script is cute.
Bit of flavor test. It went through. And he just goes, whatever.
Yeah, I think he was like happier when I like just missed it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a bear. There's also so basically it's a stylish thing, and then you go in. There's a few items you
And
collect.
you got up those stairs better than I did.
Yeah, those first stairs are harder to get
Yeah,
up.
there were some weird things where like odd bits of the world aren't as traversable as they should be.
Yeah. Did I like the genie that comes out of this urn.
Yeah. He's just
Here
hanging
he
in
comes.
his urn.
Oh, he's a happy ghost.
Did he scare you?
No. So it's gone for a lot of character. So there's all the writing's pretty enjoyable, I found.
No, the writing was generally good.
So,
Characters were good.
So what were your impressions of this, James?
Okay, so the controls at first.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, these controls feel really floaty. I didn't try it with a controller. I don't know if we could even play it with a controller.
I didn't try it.
The mouse itself it's like I'd move the mouse and it'd catch up. Like the controls weren't responsive. When I eventually got to more of the motion of like the jumping puzzles and things like that, and there was a good momentum to it. I actually really liked the weight of the character.
Okay,
Yeah, so like I liked cool, I'm doing some jumping and I've got momentum, and that felt pretty good.
Did you talk to this dick toad?
I did. He says croak and you jump in. But I jumped in early and I died. But
you should come for a swim. I'm like, okay.
Oh, what a
fuck you, toad. You froggy piece of shit.
Yeah, what a dick.
Anyway.
Those controls I quite liked. The world is good. It looks really nice. There's some pretty decent level design in there. Sometimes yes and sometimes no. One of the things I liked was it's sort of like the game's broken into like you go some small jumping thing. You get like your hook and you learn about the jump pads and then you get through an area and kind of the game's over. Yeah. But there's some nice things like in this area coming up the first bit where there's like a platform with you have to go up or a ramp. When there's a nice like kind of little kind of telegraph of like this is where you can kind of go up from a thing. Or there's like some nice modeling of like the two hands and a big mouth for you to walk through with that part. And like you complete one area. And then the hand becomes like a smoky thing comes out of it. And like it didn't ever tell me that means I finished it, but I kind of put it together. It's got some kind of nice stuff like that where it doesn't try to explain too much of what's going on.
No, and that's what I like in these sort of games.
Sometimes it's like, you can use
do
a hook
wrong.
shot and the grappling hook, and they very explicitly tell you how to do it.
Why couldn't I pull that boulder off that robot?
I don't know. There's an obelisk. I never figured out what to do with it.
It's so tiny. It's so perfect.
I was a bit disappointed because I got the obelisk. Obelisk, whatever. And I took it to the next area, thinking it was an important thing.
It disappears.
And they just take the items away from you. I think there's some issues there with like I have these items that like I think I can do something with, and maybe there is something I can do with them.
I don't think there's much, but I do feel like there's a couple of things I missed in the game.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed the movement. I had it bugged out for me in the big volcano area, which is really like the only real puzzle area of the game.
I got stuck behind some geometry.
And
I had to actually quit the game. But luckily it does save. It does save, yes. Because at first I was like, what have you done, game? Because there's just a hard quit. There's no like good old pause menu. You hold down escape and it quits. But yeah, I got back into it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's pretty short.
Yeah, it didn't take a lot of time. Yeah. I feel like there is a little bit more to explore. When I sort of finished the game, I didn't realize it was going to get over then. But what an ending.
Oh, so yeah, with like the crazy colors coming at your face.
So basically, I fucking love the ending of this, where they go like, the whole time the obelisk thing is trying to say, hey, don't do this, stop, just go back to the beach, and the squirrel's like, I'm your friend, why don't you come with me? Why don't you go to the top of the mountain? He's like, don't do it, don't go to the top.
Don't do it.
So you go to look at the view, and the view's really nothing special. And then you trip out. And I'm pretty sure that the tripping out is the squirrel murdering you. Because then you're lying on the ground and the squirrel just rolls you off the cliff into the water. It's like, fuck that squirrel.
They hold on the colours for quite a while.
Oh, yeah. It's like a 2001 thing.
Yeah, because I was playing it on my TV as well.
Yeah.
So it's like this big thing in front of me. It was pretty cool.
Oh, here come the colours!
Oh my god, the colours are coming!
Oh my god, there's an island!
They'll be there.
And I'm like, what? Am I supposed to be impressed by that island? I don't understand
really
what's going on.
Because you're really not impressed by the island.
Yeah, just like, it's just an island.
It's just, being an island.
I mean, it's fine, but I'm on an island.
Oh my god!
Pyramid! We're going back in time! Anyway.
Okay,
you're tripping out in one way or another. Either it's so gorgeous or you're being murdered. But then
I'm not staring at it again.
Yeah, stare into the pyramid.
Oh god!
It's like,
no.
off you go.
Off you
into
go,
the
friend.
Bloop.
Bloop, bloop.
Death.
It's like, why did you go in?
What an ending.
The end. There's a bunch of mechanics in there I really like.
Yeah.
The motion is really good. When it clicks together, and I'm going from point to point.
When you're running and you're grappling.
Yeah.
I did have a bit of trouble with the zip line.
Zip lines I struggled with a bit.
Yep.
I actually died a number of times trying to use them.
Yeah.
But the checkpointing was good, so it just threw me back. I really like the grapple mechanic where it slows down when time slows down.
Yeah. So you can get that shot.
Yeah, because it does a good job at teaching you pretty early on. Like you have to do a jump and then grapple, but then as soon as you point the mouse at the point, like time will slow, so you can kind of get it. Thought that stuff was really cool. There was a bunch of stuff in the world that I don't know is meaningful or not.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe there's something there. I don't know. But just like I kind of went in and I was a bit grumpy when I went into it. And this is actually always a good tell for a game because if I go into a grumpy, there's a good chance I'm just going to quit. Like whatever game, I don't care. But if I stick with it while grumpy, it really can't be bad. And I actually got I played through it in one setting because it's quite short. But it was a fun experience.
I needed 2 settings.
Really, too?
Because I got motion sick.
I could see because of that floaty motion.
No, it's more because when I don't know where to go in a game, that seems to be what triggers it. It's a strange thing.
Yeah.
It's if I'm just sort of randomly looking around, I make myself more sick. It's very strange. Yeah, so actually, I'd like to see them extend the world, do some more with it. I thought that team that they put together had like a really nice style and nice.
Like if as a student project, like as if one closing out like their degree, that's like there's a lot of cool stuff in there, and they seem to have kind of the basics. They can craft an interesting world, cool.
Yeah.
All right, Q&A.
Q&A. If anyone's got a Q or an
Oh,
A,
we're getting Metal Gear style Q&A.
I'm getting a coming into your queue.
I'll ask.
Ask who? Oh, you can ask. Yeah.
All right. Favorite amiibo? Huh?
King DDD.
Okay. All right.
What's your favorite amiibo? Whoa! What's wrong with? Have you seen the King DDD amiibo?
Mr. Producer.
It's built like a brick. It's awesome. I love it. It's so good.
All right.
Wii Fit Trainer's pretty good. I like her.
Yeah, all right.
She gets me fit.
I actually quite like Star Fox.
Star Fox is alright.
Yeah, Star Fox is a good one.
Yeah.
I like Yoshi's a good one. Better than Kirby.
I got a question from Ben.
All right.
How's your first day at work?
It was getting set up, getting computers installed.
Oh yeah. Did you get an ID?
Several IDs.
Several IDs. Oh.
I got the key card to get in the door.
Wow, that sounds fancy.
Yep. Yeah, it's good. That's fine. First day of work, get everything set up, getting good to go.
Good.
Didn't have any of those pesky students to deal with. Students, handsome faces.
Students are the worst. That's what I've been told.
All right. Okay. You're right. Another question. What do we got? How are you going, Paul?
I'm okay.
You going okay?
I might have totally made up all that student stuff about the stranger.
You might. Are you quickly researching, correcting on the show?
Yeah. I just like. I'm out of my code.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I totally made all that up.
All right. Paul.
I don't know why I thought it was.
Okay, Paul. While you're looking at this, we'll ask you another question.
Yeah.
Can you help me with my Game Jam game, KK?
Nah.
That game day question may be
I'm
directed at me.
I'm not a talented developer.
But I was going to throw it at Paul.
That's pretty good.
You could do stuff. You did a ship. You did a legally distinct spacey guy for an
I did.
Space.
And I once made a clone of Scorched Earth where all of the rockets looked like dicks.
That sounds like a Paul thing to do.
It wasn't on purpose. Everyone just told me that the model I made looked like a dick, so I called the game Cock Rockets.
Ben is also asking me, when am I paying the $3K you owe me? Welcome to the world of contracting, Ben. Maybe one day.
Jared's on the stream. Good. Okay. I think that covers it pretty well.
All right, one more. We'll take one more. If anyone can shoot one out. Shoot one out. Go on.
Because they're very good.
Yeah. Well, no, I want to know, is it students or not?
Oh, no, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. It's not a thing.
Oh.
Look. Yeah, this game was made for a senior project at Carleton University.
There we go. It's fine.
There we go. There were students. They once learned a thing.
They weren't
taught by James.
Nah.
Okay. That works for me. Okay.
All right.
End of the show?
Yeah, end the show.
I got another Ludum game.
Ludum
Dare game.
Another Sander Green for us.
No, I don't. I don't have.
Oh, well.
So remember to do the Ludum Dare and
Doing the Ludum Dare.
and vote for the non-standard
Vote
parties.
for non-standard parties. Do you
Think
like...
outside the triangle.
Do you like liberal values with a little L? Have I got the party for you? The Green Party.
Or do you like conservative values with a big C?
Yes. Who do I vote for? Give me political advice, sir.
Vote the boats.
Oh, vote one boat.
Oh,
Vote one boat.
that's the new slogan. Vote the boats. It's utterly meaningless.
Vote the boat.
Vote the boats. Vote the boats.
Vote the... No.
Thanks for watching. I've been your host, Paul.
And I've been James.
Remember to vote the boats. This has been FMVGames, brought to you by 8.5-bit. Vote one, vote the boats. You catch our website on
Whatever stuff.
all our normal stuff.
Jump on Facebook. Let us
Yeah.
know. Oh, we're going to do patch notes. I did want to quickly do patch
Yes.
notes. Hopefully our sound is better this week.
Yes, we've got
So-
different mics set up.
So remember to keep that feedback coming because we are definitely listening. And we will make the show as awesome as we can.
Yeah.
Vote the boats. So
Yeah.
good.
Jared wants to know why there's so much communist propaganda. I don't know if vote the boats is communist. But and also remember, if you do watch live, if you join into the YouTube chat, we will try
jump
to
in.
take your opinion on board.
Yeah.
Or at least look at you
Yeah.
while you look at us. We'll see. Oh, actually, we will not see you next week. Mr. Producer has to go, and I believe he's working with Donald Trump
I think so.
on their
just his hairpiece. Did you see that?
on their rate the gates.
Rate the gate.
Yeah, rate the gates.
No, all right.
Yeah, because the fence to Mexico is going to need some gates.
You will.
Yeah. So you got to rate the gates.
I remember.
So we will have some content released next week.
Yep.
The exact nature of that is yet to be
I don't
decided.
know, whatever. Something.
It'll either be amazing or it'll just.
I was thinking of just me kissing my hand for 3 hours.
That sounds pretty good to me.
Practicing kissing.
Okay.
And where can you find us, Paul? Where can you find this video?
The video you can find on YouTube.
Yes.
Or by going to streamedlive.tv. You can follow us on Facebook, on our website 8.5bit.com, on our Twitter, on SoundCloud, on iTunes, or any podcasting software you like, and rate us on everything you can.
Rate us well.
Rate us
please.
like you rate a gate.
Yes. Not you vote a boat.
Not how you vote a
No.
boat. Take the Ludum Dare and vote a boat. We are everywhere. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, everyone. Next week, man.